When people are trying to put you into a box, to fit you into something, society, school, every rules what we have around us, this is something to think about at least.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Salem Speakers Podcast. My name is Jacob Salem, and I am your host today. Today's guest helps people answer a question that I think every one of us has asked at some point. Why do we keep repeating the same patterns even when we know better? Maryna Bilousova is a human dynamics specialist, a speaker, an author, and expert in emotional resilience, leadership, and the hidden conditioning that shapes our decisions, relationships, and performance. Before stepping into this work, she spent more than a decade leading large international projects in the pharmaceutical industry, giving her a unique perspective on leadership, stress, and human behavior under pressure. Maryna, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me today.
Well, I want to start with something that you've said throughout your work that really caught my attention. It's that you believe most people don't struggle because they lack knowledge. They struggle because something deeper is driving their behavior. Can you tell us what you mean by that?
Well, I mean, actually, a huge part that is really unknown for many of people in this world, it's subconscious mind. I don't know if people are really aware about like structure, conscious, subconscious mind. And I like to use this metaphor from the Sigmund Freud, who was describing this as an iceberg. And you have some small top above the water, what is our conscious world, something we realize we do. And then there is a huge part that it's underwater, and it's all that subconscious mind that is actually responsible for our behavior, for how we make decisions, how we react to something. And, I have sometimes people who is coming and telling, okay, some conflict, and I know I should be behaving differently, but I can't. I couldn't stop myself. I just was talking something bad stuff. And afterwards, they felt guilty or something. And this is something that it's subconscious actually leading. And having a control about yourself. And it's built through all our experiences, especially childhood is making a big part of this. Sometimes one word is affecting someone really hardly all the life, and person even not really understand where the problem is coming from. So it's really, really huge and interesting thing. And yes, sometimes people are really saying, oh, yeah, a willpower or something. I will do it. And then they can't, and this is something that is stopping them because some programming inside is still running this outdated program. And we have to pay attention to this and rewrite time to time.
Well, let's lean into that a little bit more. I mean, most people, right? Most of us know that we need to eat healthier, have better conversations with those around us. We need to set boundaries. We need to stop procrastinating. Yet we don't. Even when we know the right things to do, we still don't do them. Why do you think that is?
Well, different stuff could be here. For instance, with food, we know how we have to eat healthy and all this stuff, and we'll still eat some bad stuff. And here you have to check maybe some emotions, because it's very often it's emotional eating. So why I'm still going to fridge and grabbing something that it's, because it makes you happy in that moment. Yeah. Maybe you're connecting some feelings, some memories from your childhood or some past, maybe like being cozy with something in the hand, like ice cream or sweets, as they are giving some spike of dopamine in the moment, and you feel this happiness once. In other ways, sometimes people are really mixing with values. It could be the same, they say health is my value, but they're not living this at all. And this is also something maybe about being honest with yourself. Is it really your value? Or maybe just you like thinking, or just, taking something from the outer world. If it's your value, then we have to look why you are not living this, your programs, everything, what is happening in your day. If it's maybe not your will, but just say it to yourself, and it's actually taking a lot of pressure from yourself as well. Say, okay, just taking responsibility after.
Yeah, I love that. So you've used this phrase human conditioning, right? What does that phrase actually mean?
When you're grown up, you finally always getting also something like you have to stop being childish, you know? And this is also some kind of conditioning when people are trying to put you into a box, to fit you into something, society, school, every rules what we have around us, good or bad, it's all conditioning. And the problem is only what I see in my work that people, when they grow up, they forget how to enjoy this life, that it's not necessary to have a reason to smile, even for this. And I remember my time being at my high demanding work, working with international projects, when I was also so grown up and so serious, then I literally forgot how to smile. I made a post recently on my Instagram about Michael Jackson, Justin Bieber, how they were conditioned to be successful being a child already and how it was affecting them all the entire adult life. So, yeah, this is something to think about at least.
If somebody realizes that they're living out patterns that they didn't intentionally choose, how do they begin changing those patterns?
Awareness is already a step, to understand, okay, there is a problem. And when people are identifying something by themselves is good, but it's also not very good maybe to go even deeper because sometimes I see people like they start digging and digging and digging, and then they're sitting somewhere in the cellar and just seeing no sky anymore. But yeah, if you're aware about something, it's really good to find a specialist, actually. No matter who, it could be someone like me who is working with the clinical hypnosis tools. It could be a psychologist or psychiatrist or anyone who can help you just to walk through this and to rewrite it, maybe disconnect some bad emotions that are still connected there and to look for some positive learning.
Why do you think people who actually realize they're unhappy and unhappy where they are in the life that they're in, why do you think so many people stay stuck in those situations?
I think not many people actually realizing until something happened,
Hmm.
you know. Many people unfortunately realizing this first at the end, and there is a nice study was done. I don't remember the name of this nurse. She was going through I don't know the English word for the houses where the older people living, that they are at the end probably like mm,
Like a nursing
um,
home?
nursing homes, yeah. And she was asking them about what you are you regretting the most, and they were regretting the most that they not live the life they actually wanted to live, the
Yeah.
life for them, not regretting doing some mistakes, but just not doing this for themselves. Earlier, you realize something that is going not really right direction in your life. It's better, and especially, I think a good sign is, are you healthy? It's recently I had a nice discussion with my daughter in a car. Her teacher is constantly sick. And we were just chatting before we were going to the school. And I just asked her a question: how would you identify the happy person? And she was saying, oh, they smile, probably they are relaxing or something like this. And I told her, what, the just one sign a happy person is healthy person. It's just one thing. So if you're constantly like having some chronic conditions, this is the sign already probably that your body telling you something is not going really right in your life. And this is the point where you have maybe to think to take time for yourself. Maybe you will find something interesting.
So you spent years leading large international projects in these high pressure environments. What did those experiences teach you about people?
Oh, well, it was really nice experience because I had to lead huge international teams that were sitting from Latin America to Japan. So I had really a wide range of daytime to be busy, making some calls, telephone conferences starting from 7 a.m. and ending like past midnight. And yeah, you learn a lot how to lead, how as a leader you affecting the team as well, how your state affecting the team. If you clear, if you know what to do, you're stable, your team is stable. But once you starting to drift, everything is just like falling apart.
Yeah.
It was really interesting time for me.
Well, how do you think, with that, how do you think stress changes the way that people think or even how they lead?
Well, it's affecting everything because in the case, especially women, a chronic stress condition affecting our health is affecting our hormonal state, it's affecting our cognitive function. So brain is just shrinking in that moment. And all the time, probably, if you're chronically, constantly finding yourself in the stress conditions. So how you can function properly in this way? In a women world, a body, if something is not balanced, like everything is falling apart, behavior. So you're not the boss of yourself, let's say, and how you can lead then the team. And for men, there are also many things to think about. If you're drained, you can maybe push from outside, like, okay, I have my willpower is with me. But all people, we can like feel the other person. And the same with the teams, like they feel the state of the leader.
What do you think one quality is that every great leader possesses?
I think it's not just for leaders, for everyone. Just to feel yourself, what is good, what is wrong, when is enough. And this is something, you have to train. It's a tool. You have to train yourself, your body, to understand yourself, to feel yourself. And then, I think it's the most important because when you can do it internally, you can affect everything externally.
Well, let's keep on moving. I mean, so let's talk about relationships. You have a book called Loving Without Losing Yourself, which is, I mean, an incredibly powerful title. Can you tell us a little bit more about this book? What does it mean? What's it about?
Yeah, actually, it's for someone who is just stuck in some emotional environment and some toxic relationship, or maybe it's just freshly out, or maybe a longer time out, but it's still like stuck emotionally there. And for anyone who would like to gain again this freedom, being yourself, feeling yourself, and having the control of their life in their hands. And it's not about blaming someone else, because I see a lot of publics, especially when you listen, like, or read something about narcissistic partner, and there is a lot of about blame of someone, but you have to understand why you was there, and you
Yeah.
have to work on yourself to not repeat again the same pattern, because sometimes people changing the person, so it's new face but the same situation completely. It's written like from my perspective as a woman, but it's still like you can read as a man as well, or maybe just use the tools I'm listing there and providing some additional information. Also, if you have toxic relationships anywhere else, because in our world we have maybe a boss who is toxic, maybe one of the parent, maybe children. So you have to navigate this not that easy world around you, and there are a lot of tools that can be used. Some additional tools also available through a book webpage as well.
What's that website where they can learn more or get those resources?
It's actually like the name of the book, Loving Without Losing Yourself, altogether.com/ebook. But
I love it.
I'll give it. Yeah.
Awesome. So lovingwithoutlosingyourself.com. And then she's saying /ebook as well. Take a look at that. Well, you're currently working on one called Becoming Unstoppable. When you say unstoppable, what does that mean? Or can you tell us about the forthcoming book, Becoming Unstoppable?
Unstoppable for me, it's someone, who knows what they want and they are just moving the direction. And even if something happening, it's not breaking them. You're just being flexible in the life. You're adopting quickly to the situation. And in constantly movement. And no matter what's happening around, the world, now the situation in the world is like some people are maybe have feeling like it's all crashing, but even with this crash around, you're still stable inside.
What separates people from those who consistently grow and from those who remain stuck?
I don't know if it's separation. We all have our personal path.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not blaming anyone who is maybe, in my opinion, would stuck behind, It's still their path, their decision. their responsibility they carry with them. And this is why, okay, maybe not everyone should be a billionaire in this world. Some people are just like normal people and they came for this experience to this world just to have this simple life. And it's all pretty okay. I'm not just taking anyone and saying, okay, this is the happy life you have to live. Because what we have to understand, help that it's forced, it's not help anymore.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it should be careful here.
You worked in spaces such as corporate leadership, human behavior, speaking, writing. Looking back, how did all of those experiences prepare you for what you're doing today and right now?
Everything started actually again with my corporate work. I already was mom of two boys. I was pregnant with third one,
Hmm.
and I was completely broken inside. I had a burnout, and the only thing I could think, it's just my maternity leave day, what was circled in the calendar on my wall. And after I left, I got my fourth child and I started thinking, okay, I have to do something differently because it was just sign from my body, from everything, like something is not going the way it should. And well, I started first transforming the way I move, the way I eat, but it was always like some last puzzle missing. And then I just found out about some meditation, hypnosis, and I liked it, how it worked on myself. And I then started learning this. Yeah, and now I'm doing this, what I'm doing. And well, I'm really thankful for this experience in the past because it's something that shaped me how I am now and what I'm doing now. And I think I can share a lot of from this experience also with the people and just inspire them. And yeah,
What impact do you hope that your work has on people?
I think for anyone who would like to improve their life, they have really chance when they start thinking, noticing, and then working on themselves, just maybe going back, changing some patterns, some programs. They all feel this, life finally like being aligned. Maybe it's a bit word like from esoteric for someone, but it's like this feeling I'm like in line actually with everything. I'm synchronized with outer world, my inner world, and it gives you a more perspective, being stable in some situation, not panicking, yeah, living your emotion maybe a moment, but then just coming down again and just, okay, I'm focusing, I'm here, and I'm going my path.
Well, as we begin to wind down and wrap up, I love going through what I call rapid fire questions, just to have you answer these off the top of your head, how you would answer them quickly. And so let's go through just a few of these and see what you have to
Okay.
say. So, and some of this might be a little bit of repeat, which is totally okay. What's one belief that you believe most people need to challenge in their life?
That they control their life.
What's one habit that creates resilience?
Listen to yourself.
What's one thing that people overcomplicate?
Any situation that brings you out of your balance. Some people are overcomplicating everything, actually.
What's one word that describes your mission?
Stability.
What does becoming unstoppable mean in just one sentence?
Moving through your life, no matter what's happening around you, and you still know what you want and you get there.
Well, one thing that really stood out for me today is this. It's that most people aren't trapped because they don't know what to do. They're trapped because they don't understand what's driving them. And I believe that until we understand ourselves, we're going to continue repeating those patterns. And so, for everyone listening today, everyone who's watching or listening, take a moment to ask yourselves, what pattern in my life keeps repeating? What belief is driving it? And what would change if I finally became aware of it? Awareness is where transformation begins. Maryna, where can people connect with you? If somebody wanted to reach out to you, to work with you, to learn more about your books, to follow you on social media, where is the best place for somebody to get in contact with you?
Actually, I do have a lot of social media stuff. Like I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook. I do have a LinkedIn. I do have YouTube channel. Also, on English language is still new, but also do all the media on the Russian language as well. So I have a lot of stuff going on. And it's also on my Instagram. Definitely, you can find in my profile already some links to the book, to book a call, anything, or just write a message in direct messaging.
Awesome.
Yes,
Well,
this is.
thank you. Thank you so much for being here today. You said Instagram a few times, so it sounds like Instagram might be the first place to look you up and give you a follow. I'm so grateful that you took time out of your day to deliver value for our listeners. It means the world to me that you did that. And for everyone who joined and listened all the way through, thank you for joining another episode of the Salem Speakers Podcast. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.